Hey everybody, my name is Lina Rovere, and I don't know if you've known me in the past, but I love to draw. I am a digital artist and I have my own company. It's called Fashion Freestyle and it sells funky designs made by me on t-shirts, of course, because I'm all about fashion and art. In this series of videos, you'll find so many different things on how to use art apps, how to draw proper, how to lay out your designs, where to start on your designs, and most importantly, feel good about your drawings. And even if they look bad, one day you might be famous for them. Who knows? You should always feel good about your own drawings. In today's video, I will be going over the basics on how to use Adobe Draw. Adobe Draw is a very good drawing app, and it's so simple to use and has so many different brushes. There may not be shading or background removal sometimes, but of course, it's a very good and simple, high-quality app. You can change the way that you want your page to look, you can change the amount of gigabytes it has, and loads of other things. So today's video will be teaching you how to use Adobe Draw. To get right into this video, I just want to start and thank you all for anybody that's watching this video. This is my very first video, and I really hope that I can get some good news on this. The first thing I will be sharing with you is on the brushes and techniques you can use. As you can see, in this corner, you can see all of the brushes that are on my main page. Of course, you're probably wondering, this isn't too many brushes. I don't understand why it has so many tips. Well, as you can see, there's a plus sign right at the bottom. As you press it, the top brush on the top of the chart will be removed and replaced with any other brush you'd like. There are so many different options. I would love to go through them all with you, but that would probably be a separate video because that would take way too long. Anyways, now that I've covered that, you're probably wondering also, what is that checkered type of line? Well, this is the eraser. It doesn't look anything like an eraser, but once you think about it, when you get rid of the background, there's absolutely nothing there, right? Well, that icon stands for nothing. And what does an eraser do? Get rid of anything you want to get rid of. And in the end, there will be nothing there, right? So that makes a lot more sense. I see what the point was. So, in Adobe, you can do several things, and it can get messy on points. For example, if I'm drawing, I can make one circle that isn't too good, you see, and then take another color, for example yellow, and draw over it. You can tell that it makes weird lines like that and doesn't look as good as originally. Well, I'll tell you what this is for. There's a main thing that you can do to avoid this type of problem or situation. Basically, as you can see to the right of your screen, there is a plus sign just above the box of sketch layer. Once you press that, you can add an image or a sketch layer. For this particular demonstration, I will be using sketch layers, so go ahead and press that. Now you can see you have one more of your sketch layer box that you were using before. In the sketch layer box, you can do several different things, but this would also be in a separate video. Now that you have your new sketch box, go ahead and draw your circle again. But if you want a clear one, I'll get to that right after this. Make your circle, and boom! Let's try the thing from before. We'll show the before and after. This was before. Not looking too good over the lines, is it? too much bubbly texture and not looking too good. Well, that was the beginning. But this is the after. Now you're probably wondering, what? How did that happen? I'll tell you. You realize that I have 2 sketch layers, and one, if you notice in real life, that if you draw anything, and then you take another marker, and you draw on top, there's obviously going to be some sort of texture. But if you put it underneath, then that doesn't make any sense, does it? You wouldn't put a drawing underneath something, would you? But the best technique of drawing or coloring in, if you start off with coloring, then you'd always want to draw a circle with the color, then trace over it. And that makes a lot more sense, right? Because if you draw over something that you just drew, then there's going to be, of course, a mark. But if it's behind or underneath the layer, it'll work. So that's why I have 2 sketch layers here. Because underneath the first page, if you go down to the second sketch layer, I would erase this, right? But only the color would come off because this is underneath. So if you get my point, that's great, and you're doing well for your first video and learning how. Let's just clear up this page. Now I'll be talking about you with the sizes and colors. Let's use our marker as an example. As you can tell that when I went over to my marker section, I don't know if I mentioned, but you were probably wondering, wait a minute, what just happened? What a minute? I can't understand anything she's doing right now. I don't know how she just changed the color or size. Or flow, of course. Well, of course, there are several different things you can do with this. I'll change the color to white for now to make it easier. Basically, you can see that on the left side of your screen, the bar with the markers, you can see that if you press the marker, select the one you choose. At first, it won't change anything, but if you press it again, you'll go to another bar that lets you change the flow. The flow makes it like drier or more stiff that you want your marker to go. So if I go here 1%, it'll be very dry and lighter. But then if I go full, then it would go crazy and would be the perfect amount. But of course, it doesn't really show any bar of choosing, right? So you just have to swipe down, like you first press it, and then you go up or down depending on the amount you want. The same thing for the size. Next thing is the color. The colors wheel is something that most of you, if you're artists, know about. This color wheel will change the color to anything you like. But if you're worried about having to draw with the same color again and not knowing how to do it again, boom, you see this plus corner right next to wheel from your left? Well, if you press that, it will be color saved. So you can go to your library and you can find the exact same color again. Now, Adobe comes with themes also, so you could check their themes library and see all the colors that were commonly used. There's a lot of them. So, now that we're done with that, let's explore the basics. As you can see, you're probably wondering this whole video, what is that little bar with all the symbols at the top right of the screen? Well, I'll answer your question. You can do several things. I'll start with this reverse button. As you can see, there's an arrow right at the top. There's 2 ones, but I'm talking about the curved one. That one will allow you to go back to your drawings and what you did before. But if you hold on it, it'll let you go back And then also, you can time travel to wherever you wanted to go and just taking way too long. So, that was one. Let's move on to the shapes icon. With the shapes icon, you can do many things. You can choose different shapes, polygons, French curves, and of course, line basic shapes. Once you press on it, it will be not as you thought. Not the way you could adjust it, but you can still adjust it with this arrow at the bottom. If you want to draw the perfect circle, don't press or assume that you can change the size with just your finger. You have to press the arrow, but if you really want to draw the circle, all you have to do is just like color over it and just scribble anywhere on the page and we'll just do it for you. You don't even have to copy the lines or anything. So yeah. Another thing is, if you want to get rid of the left side of the bar, you can obviously just get rid of this by pressing the little icon next to the shapes icon, which will get rid of it. You can press it again if you want it back. Now the airdrop sign, if you want a link to project so you can email it or airdrop to someone, that's where you can do it. And image, Behance, time-lapse, this will be in an all separate video. Then you can go to the settings icon and change the format to whatever you like. So for example, what I was talking about here is you can create a new format with any type of measurement you want, or pixels, or indications. Now that that's done, I won't change anything yet, but that will be in a separate video. You can rotate your canvas, your add grid, shape snapping, and of course, you can learn the brush basics, and that's probably an easier way than watching a very long video, but it's the best. Then the very last one will just, if you're presenting a drawing to anybody that wants to see it, and you don't want them to see all the other scrappy logos and icons around you, you can just press that last icon at the right corner of your screen and it will get rid of anything, and you can only adjust and see your drawing. So that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you're not already, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, and if you would leave a like, it would mean a lot. Thank you. Also, make sure to check out my website. It's called Fashion Freestyle.